All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Zachary Lynch, and I am the founder of Card Stock Exchange, and this is Card Stock Exchange Episode 1, EP1 podcast. And we're going to get into a lot of cool topics today, covering sports, trading cards, and we'll have some athletes hopefully on our next few podcasts. So for Episode 1, I have Abram and Derek with me, and I'll let them do a quick intro, and then Abram's going to get into the topics for today's podcast.
Yeah, all right. I'm Abram. I'm 16 years old. I'm from Michigan, and I do a lot of cards. I'm a big entrepreneur in sports. I love football, basketball, everything. And I'll hand it off to Derek.
My name is Derek. From the Houston area, originally from Wisconsin. Big Wisconsin sports fans. Love collecting cards. I love the Green Bay Packers, and I mean, really, all my life is sports. So
Good stuff.
yeah,
Good stuff.
So our first topic will get into NFL free agency and all the trades and all that right now. What are your guys' thoughts on it so far?
Yeah, I'll start. I feel like this is just going to end up being a podcast about me ranting, which is fine for me. But honestly, I'd like to start off with Deshaun Watson's trade, being a Texans fan, and how idiotic of a franchise that the Houston Texans are. I've been down this road, and I'm so tired of seeing Russell Wilson getting traded for like a ton of picks and players, and us literally getting nothing but picks. Not even a second round pick. We got 3 firsts, which I don't want to hear is a good deal. We got no players out of it. So our team is still just sitting in poverty with no new players. And, we're going to draft Kyle Hamilton 3rd overall, which is fine. That's fine if we want to draft a safety 3rd overall. Doesn't surprise me. And then we're probably going to just do some bullshit with the 13th overall pick. I pray for us is all I'm going to say. I'll pass it over to y'all. But good for Cleveland because they are now a Super Bowl contender. So good for them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's that contract they gave Deshaun is what I think fully guaranteed $230 million. Crazy. I think it's the most guaranteed ever. Um, I don't know. I don't know if any NFL player I understand the contact and all that you're taking, but I mean over 50 million a year is just insane to me. It's crazy. But on to Devontae. What are your thoughts on that, Derek?
yeah. I mean, me being a Green Bay Packers fan, it hurt. I mean, we drafted him, we stuck with him, we didn't cut him or anything, and then he kind of just stabbed us in the neck there. But yeah, it's just I mean, our trade wasn't amazing either. I mean, we only got a first round pick and a second round pick, and he also got a pretty hefty contract. I mean,
you can think about it also from the perspective Packers don't have to take on another cap space and all that, but
well, it doesn't help when Rodgers is fucking $50 million a year. Holy cow!
For sure.
That's why you guys will never win. I'm speaking to Derek here. So that's why you guys will never win a freaking title. It's because Rodgers wants to cry about not having any receivers and then goes and takes $50 million. So and you know what? I hope he has fun throwing to who's even the second receiver like Skeleton, Marquise. Dear God, dude, that's gonna be rough. You know what? He shouldn't have even won MVP last year, but I won't get into that. But
some of my best, I think some of the best signings so far. Let me look through here quick. There's been a lot of great signings. I mean, talk about the Jaguars spending a little bit. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm happy as an A&M fan for Christian Kirk, but he got way too much money. I think the team that really did it the best was the Chargers, no doubt. I mean, you got a lockdown corner to pair with like Derwin at safety, and then you got Khalil Mack. So now Joey Bosa could be Defensive Player of the Year because he has a guy on the other side that's going to take doubles. I'm probably the biggest Herbert fan on the planet. I think he's better than Burrow, and I'll stand by that.
Yeah,
but,
I agree with that.
Okay, I'm glad we're all on the same page here then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Chargers definitely hit it out of the park, and they kept Mike Williams. That's just my opinion.
For sure.
But the Jags definitely overspent on a lot of players. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Almost all of their players were way.
And then that Von Miller contract, I've just been thinking about that. It's 6 years, $120 million.
Again, as an Aggie, I'm happy, but he's like 32.
Von Miller's one of my childhood players.
Dude, he's like 32 years old.
Yeah, I know. 6 years. I mean, that's kind of...
That's wild.
I saw that.
That's absolutely insane. Oh, my God. You know who did good, too, was the Lions. The Lions did pretty good, too, I will say.
Yeah.
The Lions have done pretty well. They got who they get? They got
DJ Chark.
yeah, and they got some other pieces too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be a sneaky team.
I do too. I could see them emerging as a top 3 team in the NFC North.
Yeah. No, I mean, no, oh, that was funny. Yeah, no, I think that they're gonna. I don't know, man. I think they're gonna be pretty good. Like, so one of the guys that we work with, and I'll just bring in anecdotes as I see fit. But one of our CSE athletes is Austin Bryant, and he plays for the Lions. And I was like, yo, so like, what are your? I asked him, I was like, do you guys like Dan Campbell and stuff? And like, apparently, like, people love him. They think he's like a
Yeah.
great coach and stuff, or at
I
least he's
think
a galvanizer. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're in great hands with him. I think they got a bright future if they can use their draft picks well. I mean,
Yeah.
I honestly don't know who they should draft this year. I mean, I think he's a beast and all, but I feel like Aiden Hutchinson's honestly already kind of peaked. Like, I don't know how high his ceiling really is.
Well, I mean,
Watching
shit.
him.
If it's anything like, I mean, if he is what he is, I'd be happy to draft him first.
Yeah. I like Thibodeau more, I think, though.
But he's like so lazy though. That's the problem. Like he just relies on natural ability, which like
Yeah,
I think that was always like Jadeveon Clowney's problem too. It was like he was just
Yeah,
a natural
for
athlete
sure.
and just didn't really translate. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Should probably not spend too much time on that and jump into how we think it'll affect the market. I mean, Deshaun, obviously, any quarterback trade, quarterbacks run the football market. I think it's definitely going to affect the cards once the football season starts, and his cards are going to start going up like crazy. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, like, he is on the Browns. I'm not sure, honestly, how they're going to do this year, to be honest. But I think if they pick up a couple of wins, his stuff will go crazy high. But I don't know. You think they'll make the playoffs this year? Browns? I don't know.
It's a stacked division with Lamar coming back. I mean, when he was playing before, he's obviously usually a top 5 to 7 talent. I mean, extraordinary running, all that. And then you have Steelers. Who knows what they're going to do? Obviously, they picked up Mitch, but they could draft, Malik Willis, who has amazing draft stock. He's been doing great and all that. And then not Browns, Bengals with Joe Burrow as an emerging talent, with Jamar Chase. Who knows if the Browns or the Bengals will be able to repeat their success this upcoming year. But they just picked up, I think, 3 offensive linemen, so trying to protect Burrow a little bit more.
Yeah. No, I think the biggest winners will always be quarterbacks. I mean, people are going to invest in Trevor Lawrence more just because they picked up Christian Kirk and some other pieces, Deshaun. Even Mitch Trubisky cards are going up, which is like, all right, have fun with that. I'm probably one of the biggest UNC fans you'll meet. You're not going to catch me spending $400 on a fucking Mitch Trubisky optic rated rookie auto. More power to the people who do. I think the market's just unfortunately driven by hype way too much, and it's like,
for sure.
Yeah, it's just like, it is what it is. But that's just my thoughts on it in terms of who's going to go up. I mean, no matter who, like Khalil Mack going to the Chargers is only going to affect like Herbert's prices or like an offensive offensive player's price, I should say. But yeah, I also just noticed my name is you on the screen. I don't know if it shows up as anything else to y'all, but
no, it doesn't. Mine does too.
Yeah, it says your name. Yeah,
it says my name. Yeah, but since I'm screen recording, it's just gonna say you, which that's cool with me. I don't really give a fuck. Yeah. After all the technical issues so far, if that's the worst thing that comes out of it, all right, so be it. But all right, yeah. Do you guys have any final thoughts on that? Or you want to move on to the next topic?
I mean, because obviously there's been so many signings, but I mean, a key part of it is defensive players. I mean, that's what run franchises. But as you were saying, I mean, signing the key defensive players is at the end of the day going to boost more of the quarterback stock than the actual, other players like receivers and running backs. I mean, signing running backs and stuff, I don't really believe in it that much. I mean, in my opinion, running back's probably the most replaceable position in football.
Yeah.
I mean, you see all these guys like Dearness Johnson came in last year and ran for 200 yards that one game when Chubb and Kareem Hunt were both hurt.
That was wild.
And
I don't know. I've stopped playing the guessing game. Like, I guess when I first started collecting, a lot of it was like prospecting for me. Like, that's literally how I made all my money starting off, was just buying Chrome baseball prospects, which is like too expensive to do now. But yeah, I've stopped like prospecting. Like, oh, this guy's gonna go here. Oh, this guy's gonna have a good year, dude. It's just so crazy at this point. Like, yeah, without going into a rant, that's I think you just got to play it smart, invest in who's key. Their cards will always go up. If you invest in like a blue chip, it's never going to go down. That's
For
just
sure.
my opinion on it.
Yeah, and that kind of leads to the next topic, like the MLB signings and the startup of everything. I mean, Derek, I think you know better. You're the baseball guy. When does it start up again? Like
It's like April,
beginning of April
sometime
somewhere.
early April, but they're starting spring training games already.
But
So,
yeah, there's been
um,
some pretty big signings, obviously, with Freddie Freeman going to the Dodgers, and
Yeah.
then Chris Bryant, I
yeah, their
know,
team is
signed with
just
the
unfair.
Rockies. You know more about the free agency than me, so I'll let you kind of take this part.
Yeah, obviously the big one is Freeman to LA. That's just their team's unfair. I mean, it's
Yeah,
yeah,
with having no cap space in
unfair.
baseball, teams can just take over.
Yeah, I think the Dodgers are still going to be a poverty franchise no matter what, which is fine
Yeah,
to me. The Astros have been to the World Series 3 times in 5 years, so I hope the Dodgers enjoy their consistent losing and stuff. That's just me as an Astros fan. But yeah, I mean Chris Bryant to the Rockies, but the Rockies also lost Trevor Story, who went to the Red Sox. And then you have Correa to the
yeah,
Twins. I think there was a lot of like big time guys that went to like other teams, kind of chasing
mhm,
money. Like I don't think the Rockies got any
mhm,
better. I don't think the Red Sox got significantly better, and the Twins are still poverty. And I wish
yeah,
Correa the best in going there, even though we offered him more money.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I think that obviously the Dodgers came out. I mean, on paper they came out the best. Yeah, like they have a stacked team. I
yeah.
I see. I'm a huge Yankees fan. I see them do that every year, and they still stay in
Yeah.
like the
Still
second
has to
round.
jive.
Yeah,
All the players have to fit in with each other. I mean, you can have all these guys that are like big hitters. I mean, you have to fit everyone into a batting order. You can't have everyone. I mean,
yeah,
all it just has to jive. Like it's the same thing as a football team. Like you can have all these guys on defense, but if they all have different playing styles, it's not going to fit together.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
that's
and I think
that's
another thing too was the rule changes too, like
mm,
how NL finally has its designated hitter. There's no more shifts. I don't know how that's all going to work out this year. I mean, taking shifts out was kind of surprising to me. I mean, they've always been doing that since baseball's been around,
yeah.
but I'm not sure on this. But didn't they extend the bases so they're longer and the bases themselves are wider? I think.
I don't know that. You'd have to
I haven't
Google.
heard about
You'd have
that,
to
but
Google that one. Yeah, that one. I'm not too sure on. But yeah, I mean, I think the shift is going to help the Yankees. Obviously, I mean, Joey Gallo therefore can maybe get like
Yeah.
10 more hits every road trip when he's not, if he's not hitting a home run, he's grounding out to the second baseman on a shift. But yeah, I mean, that's a stupid rule change. But the MLB's whole point is that they want to make it more fun. They want to make it more
yeah,
enjoyable. And so, I mean, when you're lagging behind football and basketball for that, you got to do what you got to do.
yeah,
So I get it. I don't have to agree with it, but I get it.
yeah. Obviously, you got to do something for the better of the sport, which is gonna, you know, some people might not agree with it, but at the end of the day, it's probably gonna, bring more people in to watch it, which is gonna boost your overall, attendance, people watching it on TV. Because I mean, obviously, yeah, you look at the numbers, MLB is lacking way behind NFL and NBA and college sports even too.
Yeah,
And I mean, how it'll affect the market. I mean, baseball market's usually um already decently lower, other than like the big five guys like Tatis, Acuna, all those guys. And then you obviously have your prospects like Franco. I think his stuff right now is insanely ridiculous. It's the
yeah,
prices of it are it's absurd.
yeah.
I mean,
No, you're
what are
not
your thoughts
wrong.
on his stuff, Derek?
Hmm. Yeah. What's another one? Bobby Witt. His stuff is also pretty high. I mean, he's the number one ranked prospect right now.
Probably, yeah.
Um,
Everyone's waiting for his jump to the league.
yeah, that's the thing too. Is like I don't. I mean, I can see why they're that high, but I mean, you have kind of to look to the teams that they're going on to. I mean, Bobby Witt going to the Royals? Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the Royals. I mean, you can put
yeah,
the best player in the whole world on that team, and they're still going to suck. So, is it really going to be worth pumping 5K on a numbered Bowman auto or something? I don't know, but
yeah. It's all about the prospect. I mean, because you think about I mean, obviously, I haven't watched baseball as long as you, Derek, but I'm pretty sure when Mike Trout first started, I mean, obviously, he's like such a big guy, but didn't the Angels kind of suck when he first started and stuff?
Man, they
Yeah.
still suck.
Yeah, exactly.
They have
Like,
two MVPs
Yeah.
on one team. They still can't even make the playoffs. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I feel like baseball is not affected as much as like football. I mean, like think about Burrow's inflation; it was up like 200% during the playoffs. It was absurd, like how fast this stuff was going up. But like
Hmm.
baseball definitely isn't affected. I don't think that much by it. But yeah, the jump from the minors, like when a hot prospect jumps from the minors to the MLB, it's crazy how much their stuff jumps up. I mean, like Dominguez right now, like his stuff's so high. I mean, when I feel like he makes that jump, his stuff's gonna increase so much.
yeah.
Man, I hope so. It's the only baseball card I own that's not a
Yeah,
Hall of Famer at this point.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all dumb. I don't know. Like, I see the money that people pour into prospects, and I'm like, what do they have to do to justify that price? And I feel like that way about every single player, right? Like,
uh-huh.
I mean, you can go buy, like, I mean, I don't even know. I haven't watched baseball in a while, so my stats aren't as knowledgeable. But like, let's just take like somebody, whoever is like the modern day Chris Davis. Shit, Joey Gallo. We'll just take Joey Gallo, right? Shit, he hits 50 home runs a year, bats 260. He's a respectable player. Maybe he bats a
Mhm.
little lower. You can buy his Bowman Chrome auto for what, like under $100, whereas like
Probably.
Bobby Witt's base is like over a G. It's like, what does he have to do to justify that price? Because like
Yeah.
he, like if you had like a 250 hitter with 50 home runs, that's like a great career if you can maintain that.
Hmm.
I mean, dude, I don't get it. I mean, I never will. I think a lot of it's pump and dump anyway. I think a lot of it's shilled. I don't know who the hell. You find me the person out there that dropped like 500 G's on a Juan Soto like red refractor or whatever the hell it's sold for. You go find me that person, and I'd be curious to know who that person is. Um, all this anonymous bullshit, bro. It's
Yeah, it's always these websites, Golden, all that. I hate to
mhm.
call them out, but there's some shady stuff going on
Oh,
beneath
dude,
them.
absolutely. Yeah, no, it's
It's
so it's so dumb. Shit, I'm stepping on my wire. All right, what's the next
like
topic? Oh, you can
next
continue on
topic.
this, or you can go to next topic.
Um,
We're 50. We're 17 minutes in. I want to try and keep it under
yeah,
30.
yeah,
So,
for sure. Well, I mean, since I have on here cards going up and cards going down and stuff.
hmm
Obviously, it probably won't last that long, but I mean, some stuff that personally, I mean, we can all kind of take a turn on stuff that we think is going to jump. I think definitely I'm really big on Acuna. I'm a huge fan of him. I think the second, the MLB season starts, he's going to be hitting the nuke button again, every game. I mean, he's hitting a home run almost every other game. I think his stuff's just going to skyrocket again like it was last year. And at the price it's at right now, it's the inflation on it's probably going to be crazy. Along with obviously Deshaun once the season starts up, we're kind of all waiting for that. Um, Along with NBA playoffs, I mean, the MVP race this year is honestly really tight between Embiid, LeBron, Giannis. It's tight this year. Ja, I haven't been hearing as much about lately, but obviously he's still such a hot player right now. His stuff's super inflated.
mm,
I think that in the future, like once they probably lose in the playoffs, it'll go down. That'll be a good investment because obviously once the next season rolls around, it's just gonna jump back up again. But I'll send it off to Derek what his opinion kind of is on some stuff.
Yeah, what you were saying too is like that's another thing is playoffs are coming up, and I mean any team that's going to be in the playoffs, the star player in that team, if they have one good game, you already know people are going to be pumping to buy, and kind of like look at Terrence Mann. I mean,
Yeah,
he had that crazy game. His stuff was up so much, and then all it took was like 3 bad games out of him, and you never hear his name again. Um, but I do think basketball is probably going to be going up here in a little bit. I mean, Jaws obviously he's really expensive. He's almost what 3-4 seed right now.
yeah.
yeah,
His
I'm pretty
team's doing really
sure
good.
third or fourth seed.
Yeah, his team's doing good. He has a good supporting cast with Bane and all those other guys, and there's a solid team. And then you go over, to the Heat. You got Tyler Hero. I don't know. His stuff has really been up and down. He's, they call him, bubble guppies, but he is a good player. He's been playing really good this year. But will his stuff go up and down as much? I don't really know.
Yeah,
It's been so high and so low. and I don't really know what to do with that guy.
Yeah, because I mean, touching on it, like his rookie year, like his stuff was so high, and then I feel like his second year, he had that second year slump, dropped down a ton, and now it's it's kind of just in that mid range again. It hasn't, even though he's been playing really well again, it hasn't really gone back up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also too, I'm also pretty big on getting some baseball. I think baseball's, I mean, it has a lot of room to grow. And if people, we almost didn't have a season, that would have been nuts. But baseball's, I think, is a really good buy right now. Obviously the big guys, Tatis, Acuna, Soto. I mean, they always have room to grow with those guys. It's everyone's looking for. But I mean, other than that, NFL, I don't know. NFL is kind of weird right now. I mean, all the guys you kind of want to buy are just super, super high. I mean, they're starting to go down a little bit, but like Herbert, Burrow, those guys are they're really high right now. But I mean, makes sense. So
Oh, yeah. Exit out of the level. All right. Yeah, Google's only giving us 10 more minutes on this call. I guess my 30 minutes of ranting beforehand on technical issues in the market really cost us some time. It's all good. So we have till 10:24. But
Okay.
yeah, no, for real, like, I'll keep it short. I'm a big Herbert guy. I will keep buying him if the price is right. Like, maybe that's because I've already sunk a fuck ton of money into him. I really don't care at this point. Go big or go home. I think he's great. I think Mahomes is always a solid buy. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of rookie autos. That's why he's honestly probably a good buy. Mahomes does not sign a lot. Neither does even Herbert. Really doesn't sign a whole ton. I think. Fuck, I'm trying to think who else. If you really want to go down the Zion path, I mean, he's half what he normally is. If you want to throw a couple dollars at him, I think he might not be a bad buy. If you want to get on the Mitch Trubisky train, I mean, they have Deontay Johnson, Najee Harris, and Chase Claypool. I mean, if he fucks that up somehow, then yeah, he really shouldn't be an NFL starting quarterback because that's a great, like, offensive, and he has a good O-line around him. So, like, and a great coach. So maybe he will win some games in that division. I think we're going to see, I think my opinion is we're going to see a lot of what we saw last year with, like, Sam Darnold and other, like, these random QBs who, like, had, like, a beginning good stretch and then just
Hot streak
completely
games, yeah.
just completely fall off. I could see that happening with Carson Wentz again, Dak again. I mean, shit, they lost Amari Cooper and just paid Michael Gallup. That was the thing we didn't even talk about. Michael Gallup getting paid a fuckload of money. Like, it's just stupid. I mean, I think all of that. Trey Lance, I think he's actually a pretty decent buy.
Yeah, that's honestly not a bad one. I mean, he has some numbered rookies from. Yeah. Oh, speaking of that goddamn Prism, I was opening that shit in, like, let me think, like December 2020. You think about it, it's a year later, and now you have products that no one cares about, like Playbook coming out, and it's coming into April now, and Prism still hasn't even been talked about. Like last year in 2021, I was ripping Optic in like February, and now we're heading into April and Prism hasn't even come out. It's ridiculous. Prism or Panini's pushing everything back. They're.
Well, Panini also is a shit company. Oh, I shouldn't say that. No, I am going to say that. They're a shit company in the sense that they just mass produce everything, like you said. And they make, like, who decides to make Select a retail product? Like, that just completely ruins Select right there. Just making it a retail product.
And let's talk about the quality control. I mean,
it's horrible. It's horrendous. Like, I don't even want to get that. That'll be a rant that'll last way past. But yeah.
I wish they would just let their ego go and let Fanatics buy them right now, keep their name, just like how Topps did. Like, I mean, Topps let their ego go, and they obviously agreed with Fanatics. You keep our name, we'll let you buy us right now. Yeah. Then they don't have to, do all the agreements and exchange all the stuff later. But Panini has such a high ego, they could.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Panini's also working on that, like, NFT shit too for cards. Like, was it like a Mickey Mantle, like 101 of his rookie sold for like what? That doesn't make any sense. And then they're working on all that. I mean, that's just nuts to me. I
think NFTs have their place in cards, and this could be a whole nother episode that we do, just like the whole technological advances in the industry. I think NFTs have a place in the sense that, like, The only reason I say this is because a lot of the athletes that we work with and are planning to work with have brought up to us like, oh, why don't you make NFTs for us? And I'm like, okay, like it's a big buzzword, right? Like, oh, NFT. I think like the only way NFTs make sense is that you mint like let's say 10. So you bring like 10 to market or a select amount and you
Yeah.
allow those to be traded, but you allow the initial like let's just say 20 people who buy it, you give them like a physical card, right? So it's like whatever the NFT is, it's like a card, and then you give those people like let's just say there's 20, you do a 20 print run of that card that's signed by the player, shit like that. Like give them something physical that they can actually do something with as opposed to like just having the NFT. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on it. Which
I
if
agree with you on that.
yeah, like whenever we do have the capabilities to make NFTs, it's exactly what I plan to do. Um, I don't know. We'll see when that happens. That's blockchain
Mhm.
is scary. That's a scary technology.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right,
I
we
think
got
we should
6 minutes. Yeah, I gotta.
probably end it off with, I mean, what everyone's talking about right now, probably March Madness. I mean, everyone's in love with it. March, once you get to the midpoint of the month, everyone's watching it. I mean, in school, during class, I'm on the computer all the time just watching it. Um, Now that there's been a bunch of the big teams ruled out, who do you guys have winning it all?
Dude, I'm a UNC guy. We got RJ Davis on as a CSE athlete. I gotta root for UNC. Fuck.
For sure.
They better, dude. They better win. I don't know. I'm also a UNC fan at heart because
Yeah.
my mom, and her dad went there, so I grew up a UNC fan. I think there's. Look, here's my thing, right? Like, whoever wins March Madness doesn't have a good pro team, right? They have a bunch of good college players who cohesively mix. Look at
Mhm.
every past couple winning teams. You can't really find one guy where you're like that guy's a stud on the pros. I mean, there might be some good role players, but like the team was just good in college. I think UNC
Yeah.
has that with Caleb Love, RJ Davis. They have their white guy at center, Brady Manick, who just somehow scores 25 a game, absolute unit, and then you have Armando, who like is actually a pro prospect.
Hmm.
I think RJ can be same with Caleb, but Armando's they're definitely their best pro prospect. I mean, other than them, obviously Gonzaga is really good. I think Duke doesn't really play cohesively. I think that's Duke's problem.
Hmm.
I think Gonzaga is scary because they can play cohesively and they always have somehow some way. They're a college basketball team. Um, yeah, those are my three teams, and maybe St. Peter's will surprise us. I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Dougie E, man. That
I mean,
guy's
who doesn't love to see a super low seed go high
mm-hmm,
up in there, get to the Elite Eight and stuff? I mean, a couple of years ago it was Loyola.
mm-hmm.
Last year it was Oral Roberts. I mean, you always have that team that's fun to watch. I mean, personally, I'd say my top three teams. I mean, I had I had Kentucky, Texas Tech, Tennessee, and Auburn in almost all my Final Fours. Obviously, I still have pretty high hopes for Auburn. I think they're a really put together team with blanking on his name right now. You guys probably
Jabari
know, but
Smith.
yeah, Jabari Smith. He's
Yeah.
beast. I mean, he's projected number one, number two overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously you have Texas Tech. They don't have any huge name players, but they're just a really put together team. They obviously, like I was talking about before, they fit together. They work well together, and um, I mean, I don't have the divisions memorized. That
Yeah, no, it's. I think at this point it's just about who's going to be cohesively good. That's just my opinion. That's really
Mhm.
what's going to come down to. All right, Derek, we got like 3 minutes, homie. You want to give your thoughts on it?
Yeah, well, Auburn actually just lost to Miami.
Oh no shit! Look at that. Well, you know who beat Auburn? Who got host from the tournament is A&M. Whoever didn't put I'm looking in the camera. Whoever didn't put A&M in the tournament, they deserve to be like fired. A&M deserved it. Anyway,
no
No,
A
what?
and M. They played Texas Southern or whatever. I'm pretty sure.
no, A&M went to the SEC championship because we beat Auburn. We got to the SEC championship, lost to
Yeah.
fuck, I think Tennessee or some shit, and then we got hosed from the tournament. They're just like,
No,
nah.
in the first four they played Texas Southern.
No, it was I know who you're talking about. It was another Texas team. It wasn't A&M. It was like A&M,
Was
maybe
it?
Galveston. No, it wasn't A&M though. We got completely hosed.
Huh.
I'll have to Google it, but
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I don't know how Michigan got in over, but then Michigan
they're
is
winning.
somehow winning these
Yeah.
games. It's like, what the heck?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean,
March
I'm
Madness, baby.
obviously, I was rooting for Wisconsin, and they blew it today. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just, yeah. it's just March Madness. That's all I can say. And it's March Madness.
Just March Madness. Yeah, I feel
It's
that.
crazy. You can't expect anything. So
Very true. All right. Well, I'm gonna officially conclude this podcast, episode 1.
Yeah.
Solid episode, I think. Got to make some thumb art for the a thumbnail for YouTube, man. But
For sure.
yeah, and until next time, guys, be on the lookout on Instagram and all of our socials for kind of upcoming guests and just keeping up with when we're gonna have podcasts. We're gonna try and do them a couple times a month. And yeah, this was a great, fun first episode. Until next time, peace.